guys, welcome to Chef Platform. If you're new to our channel, very much welcome. You are really welcome. If you've subscribed to our channel, I'd like to thank you very much. Say thank you, thank you, thank you. If you're new, please feel free to subscribe for this video and other videos. Please feel free to share it with your friends, like the videos as well. And if you have any questions, always feel free to ask me questions in the comment section, and I will be helpful to you. Okay, so let me close this tab. So what I want to do is mainly take you guys through what we call your feed formulas, because I've had so many people asking me a lot of questions about what formula to use, and I've decided today is the day. Let me share the video because I'm going to do it anyway today. I'm going to do it today because I need to do it. I need to buy new feeds for my chickens for the next 1 month. Okay, for the rest of the month. Okay, so what best time to do it other than now? Okay, so let's start. Here I'll take you through formulas, different formulas that I do have that I've used before, and my chicks are 8 months old now, so that means I've gone through all of these formulas so far. Okay, I've tested all of these formulas myself, and let's start with chick mash. Chick mash is the feeds the feeds that you give them when they're day old up to um, around 21 days old. Okay, is it 2 weeks or up to 21 days? Let's say 21 days. Okay, or a month. Some people go to a month. Anyway, so here I'll keep things very simple. So you need, this is a formula for 100 kgs. Feel free to screen grab this and you can use this formula for yourself. So whole maize, wheat bran, these are the kgs that I needed that time for 100 kgs. So these are the formulas that helps me to achieve a crude protein that is recommended for the chickens. Okay, so this is the formula that I use to achieve the crude protein that is required for the chicken. Okay, now the crude protein for chicks and are from 21 when they're young up to around 16. That's 16 to 21, so it plays around there. So with these you can be able to calculate that. I've not calculated it. I calculated sometimes back when I was coming up with the formula. I needed up to this to do the calculations, but going forward from there, I've used it and it's been fine for me. So this is what you need. Some of these things, these are what we call like the amino acids and the vitamins, multivitamins and all that. These ones, these chemicals, some of these help you prevent coccidiosis, like this one, coccidiostat, and then toxin binder actually helps you or your chickens not to be contaminated or poisoned by aflatoxins, because all these are cereals, most of them, and they are prone to aflatoxins. So you need aflatoxins binder, that is a toxin binder, so that any of these toxins, by binding them, I don't know what they mean, but I understand it's just neutralizes them. I said I want to keep things simple. Understand it as simple as that. Growers mash the same. This is the formula. Do a screen grab now. You can watch the video while you're doing a screen grab. There are few things that you add to this, like DCP. It wasn't there for the chick mash. Okay, so the DCP wasn't there, and then EcoBio wasn't there as well for the chick mash. Okay, so for the growers we have that. All these other things remain the same, and you put growers mash premix for that. I have a secret on how you can be able to sort out these problems from here to here. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. I'm going to show you a secret on how you are going to remove this, just one substance or one item that caters for all this. So you only need to start thinking about this. Okay, so you only need to think about that. That's the only thing you'll be buying. The rest, it's sorted out by that product. So stick around for the video. I'll be sharing that with you shortly. All right, so let's go. For layers and growers mash, that is it. Now you'll find that I've said here we need omena and all that. So if you have access to soya, then you can substitute this, but that means you'll need to add the amounts that you need, the quantity here, and you may need to add some fish meal to it. So probably if you have soya, probably get another 40 kgs of soya and then another 50 kgs of fish meal or omena. Okay, so you need to have both of them. Some people use it alone but in bigger quantities, but I choose to probably balance. But again, I don't have access to soya, so if you have access to soya, good, that's good for you, because that is one of the biggest proteins giving foods that is not adulterated. Omena is adulterated a lot. Okay, so here you go. I will tell you more about the omena part, that is the fish meal. I'll tell you more about this fish meal part just shortly. So we go to layers mash. Layers mash, the same thing, but you see now the proteins here are more. Here you have here you have 90 kgs. Growers mash, you had it at 80 kgs. So we are adding more proteins. Because why? Because we need the chickens to lay. We are adding more lime. Here we needed, for every 1 ton, we needed 100 kgs. We need 100 kgs. For growers, we don't. Oh, yes, we needed that. 100 kgs actually. The ones that didn't have a lot of lime was chick mash. So you'll find that chick mash lime, we just need a little bit of lime. Okay, but after growers, you need to help them basically digest the feeds. All right. So the other thing that you need here, I think, is the sunflower seed cake in larger quantities as well, right? I think I'm right. 150 here, 150 for every 1 ton, and here is actually 150. So we need almost the same amount for between the layers and the cross mash. All right. So whole maize, I think energy, that is 170 and 200. Then here we have, yes, that is what I was looking for. So 200, and then here we don't need maize bran, yes, here on the layers, a lot of them. So we substitute that with wheat bran. Okay, for that formula, that's it. Now the reason we substitute all these have add up to a certain amount of crude protein that is required by, no, we have your maize bran, sorry about that. 300 kgs 300 kgs for a ton, and here maize bran 300 kgs. Then we have your wheat bran 180. This one, I think it goes down with bran. Yes, definitely it goes down for layers. This is more energy, and we need them to lay eggs, not to run around. Anyway, that's why we have that for layers. Okay, this, I have another second formula that I've used before. This formula, can grab this if you are keeping improved kienyeji, if you are keeping any of those indigenous chickens that you want, and you want them to lay more eggs, is for commercial purposes. This is your feed. This one worked well for me, for my indigenous improved kienyeji, worked really well. So you can use this. If you are going purely on layers, then this formula will work for you. This formula is good because it has that balance between the soya and the fish meal. Okay, so this one balances it out. So if you have anything adulterated and all that, then you're good in terms of omena and all that. Now let me touch on fish meal. So for fish meal, there are around 3 types. Okay, The first type, number one, is the first type is where we have the ones like the baby, what do we call, shrimps. Okay, so those ones are a little bit, they don't have a lot of protein. Okay, so they don't have a lot of protein, and they are not that advisable to use now. To use them actually for your feeds, although some people use it, but it's not advisable. Then we have the ones that have been cleaned. So when these people go and fish for these the fishes, the daga, okay, so what happens is uh, a lot of things get caught in the nets, like shells, stones, and all that stuff. So basically, when they are cleaning that, they feed the fish, that is the omena, for human consumption. They actually pick this, and then the waste is what now sometimes they sell for animal feed. So when you buy that, you will have a lot of shells in it, a lot of stones in them. So that is more of a doctored. I don't. I will not recommend that in any for any feeds. Okay, because sometimes you'll find plastic bags on them, a lot of stuff that are not good for any animal consumption. So it's good. You go now to the pure one. Pure is the ones that, and they're graded in different grades again. The fish meal, the omenas, where you'll find you have the bigger size ones which humans cannot eat because of the bones, of course. It will hurt you when you're eating them. So those are the ones, and that these are pure. Okay, these are pure that have been selected, and they are like the grade ones for animal feeds. Okay, then we have the ones that humans eat, so you can still buy that and use them as your source of protein. So those are the only two things, two types of omenas you need to buy. The bigger ones, they're like the size of your finger. Those ones, of course, human beings cannot eat them. Okay, and then there are those small, like half the size of your finger, and they're pure and clean. So those are the ones that you need to use. All right, so we've covered that in terms of fish meal. Um, the other thing that we need to cover is, I know I had a lot of headache getting all these elements here, which is lime layers premix, lysine, methionine, threonine, tryptophan, toxin binder, and all those stuff that are really hard to pronounce. Okay, not lime, sorry, from here, because you still require lime anyway. So, and then salt, of course you need to add your salt in this formula, that I need to add salt here, and then for it it's around 0 0.5 0 0 point around 3 0.3, okay, kgs. Here we'll just buy 1 kg. Okay, so once you have that sorted out, so here is where I will be taking you through these elements here. These are the elements that you need. All right, so uh, the big secret is, then here you can use 5% concentrate. You don't need to actually use all these other elements. Just remove these elements and replace them with these concentrates. So where you can get concentrates, you can get concentrates from Fugo, you can get concentrates from New Science, you can get concentrates from the few other companies you can get them from. Most of these companies are based in Thika, so if you are within Nairobi, you can easily get these concentrates there. And if you need assistance linking you up with providers for the concentrate, one of them that I use, please let me know. You can share your request. You can send me your request, and then I'll be able to assist you on getting these concentrates. This simplifies your work because the only things you need to be buying are these. Now, I buy my 5% concentrate at 6,300, that is 50 kgs, and that one I need that to mix feeds, that is 1 ton. Okay, so I need just 50 kgs to mix for feeds 1 ton, for 1 ton feed. Okay, so it helps me cut down this cost somehow. So that is 5% concentrate. Okay. Now, ironically, the 20%. Now, I have this formula here. The two layers mash here. Sorry for confusing you guys. Is the two layers mash formulas that I have. This is the one that you can use for your indigenous chicken, like the improved kienyeji's, broilers, rainbow roasters, and all those types of chicken. This formula that I'm highlighting here. So if you're keeping those, please screen grab it. Okay, screen grab that because you need that for your feeds, and you can see the total cost based on what I buy on my end is 32,890 for a ton of feeds. That is a ton. Okay, for this a ton, the total cost comes to this, right? So if you're making a kg, then the total cost of a kg is 348 shillings. So you need to figure out how. This is like a crate and a few other eggs per day. So if you are not getting more than a crate, then you don't need to buy these feeds for now. So you need, but this will help you actually attain that easily. All right, so this is the cost that I incurred uh, last time that I bought this product, which is a few months back. Of course, the cost have gone high. Like for maize now, it was at 30 shillings. Right now, it's around 35 where I'm based in. So you can see how that helps you cut costs. I'll come to cost aspect of this later in the video. I'll show you just the difference of someone buying the feeds from the shop, from the store, and making their own feed. Okay, so this one is for now commercial layers. So that means you need to buy whole maize, soya, fish meal with bran and lime, and then add the 5% concentrate. Okay, this brings a total to 54,000. So you'll have for a ton. Okay, so like you can see here, kgs whole maize cost 30 and all that. So the reason the cost is going up is because of soya. You've added an element there, which is soya, which brings up the cost of the feed. Okay, so that means if you want to cut costs, you can keep this, but I'll not recommend this formula for your layers, commercial layers. But if it is indigenous chicken that you want them to lay, then I'll recommend this formula. So this is for commercial layers. These are layers. These are layers mash now for those chicks. I'll call this kenyeji mash. Kenyeji mash. I'll call it that. But this one I'll call it layers mash now. Okay. So here you have the cost there that is around. Is it yes? The two cost per 1,000, and then cost of that is that. Formula of that is that times 10. There's something wrong here. This is 1.4. Okay, so yes, it's 1.4. Then that means I get that is 100, and then cost package is that, then the total cost is E2 D2 E2 here, that's cost, and then times this. Yeah, because I need these kgs to make a ton, so it's around 54,000. Okay, so this is the formula that you need to use. Now you have an option of going through buying layers mash. You're making your own layers mash with a 20% concentrate. This eliminates any protein. So as you can see in our formula here, we only have maize bran and maize. That's it. Okay, maize bran and maize. That's it. Nothing else. Okay, and lime, of course, lime you need them. There is no type of concentrate that will cover the lime aspect of your feed. So you've used this 20%, and this is for people who cannot have access to soya, they cannot have access to any source of protein for their feed. Sorry about that. So if you don't have access to this, then you can use the 20% concentrate to make your animal feeds. Okay, and this is really helpful to you because you can see the cost per ton is around 45,000. So it's actually cheaper buying a 20% concentrate compared to buying these other proteins and a what, a 5% concentrate. Okay, so it's really cheaper buying these elements because you see the cost of this 20% concentrate, ironically, like I said, it's cheaper than the 5% concentrate. That's the irony of it. That's what I get anyway. There are different companies, so you can use those different companies. They have different pricing points. Okay, so and they also have different formulas for you. So this is the secret that I wanted to share with you, because this is now where, if you don't have, let's say the country right now has shortage of fuel, so you have an option. So if we have shortage of soya beans, if you have soya, if we have shortage of sunflower, if we have shortage of fish meal or ramen or something like that, then you can use this formula. So this, because it's really hard for us to have maize and maize bran shortage, but it's happened before. So you can substitute this, I think, with other elements like wheat and wheat bran or something like that. You can still substitute them because let's be honest, wheat has more protein actually than maize. So actually these are elements that you're putting to hold, and I don't know about the energy aspect of maize in comparison with wheat. So if this is what will be able to help you out in case you are out of short, we have a shortage of some elements of your feed. Now I will run a quick uh, math here. I wasn't really good at math, but I'm good at counting money. I wasn't really super good at math. So now you see this is the cost, 45,000, that you will incur if you're making your own feeds. Let's say an average of around 50,000. So let's say right now people are buying, not me, as much, at around 3,200 shillings. Okay, times, let's say we need a ton of that, so that will be around times around 32. Okay, so you need 32 bags to hit a ton, isn't it? Because it's 50 kgs. Ah, is it? No, sorry, that I was, so let's say 1,000. Okay, divide by 50, so you have that is equivalent to 20 bags. 20 bags times 3,200, you'll be spending 64,000 every single month to feed, let's say, that is around 250 bags to 80 bags. Okay, now 250 bags to 280 bags. Okay, so somebody else is spending 45,000. Now for the shop, let's say all of them, this will give you higher yield. I know that because I have tried it. This one and these other, this one will give you higher yield. Okay, so let's say for argument's sake, you have 90%, so you have like let's say 300 bahts. Okay, times, let's say, 90% of that, so you have, sorry, 300 bahts, sorry about that, 300 times 90%, that's around 270. That is around 270 eggs a day. Okay, so let's say an egg goes for 30 shillings. So in a day you'll be getting what is formula, so you'll be getting to 70 eggs a day. Is it to 70? Really? 90% times 300, 270 times 10 shillings an egg, that's 2,700. I was doing times 300 for crates, so that's 2,700 times 30 days. Okay, that's 81,000. So the other formula, subtract 65,000. Okay, so you'll get a formula of profit of 16. Okay, Okay, so okay, so 81,000, let's say subtract, you're using this formula which is around 45 400. Okay, so let's say 46. All right, so let's say minus 46 thousand. All right, so here you'll be getting a profit of 35,000. So the other person is getting a profit of 16, you're getting a profit of 35. That is how much different it is for you to, if you're making your own feed. So let's say if you're making your own feed, the minimum you can sell an egg for is how much, right? So let's say the minimum is 45, it's 46,000. Okay, 46,000, right, per crate. So the minimum per crate you can sell is, let's say, divide by 300 shillings for 10 shillings an egg. So each egg you can sell them, sorry, so we need to calculate minimum amount of eggs that you can sell in a day. So let's say 300, of course, shillings, isn't it, times 30 days. Okay, per crate times 30 days. Okay, so that's 9,000. Okay, 9,000. How much? So let's say 40. Basically, if I am making, that's 9,000 eggs. So divide this. That is 46 divided by 9,000. Okay, 46,000 divided by 9,000. All right. So I can sell my eggs at 5 shillings, and I'll be breaking even if I make my own feed. Okay, I'll be selling my eggs at 5 shillings. Now, if you are using that is 3,500, isn't it? All right, which brings you to 3,200, 3,200 for each bag. All right, times 20 for a month. So you'll be spending 64,000. Okay, so the minimum that you can make, so I divide this by 9,000. So the minimum you can sell your eggs for is 7 shillings, isn't it? So times, for you to break even, or not to be the break even point, not to, you'll not be making any profit, but you'll be spending the money on feed. So if we multiply this by 30, so for a crate, so that means you cannot go below 230, while this other guy can go to up to 150, and that will be when they will probably start, if it goes below 5 shillings or 150 shillings, that's when they start making losses. If they go above that, they'll be making some profit. Okay, so you'll be making profit from 215, and this guy will be making profit from 150, who is making his own feed. So that is just a rough assumptions. The mathematics may not be right or something like that, but that in general, that's what I wanted to share with you guys, so that you know that there is actually a huge difference in you making your own feeds as compared to actually buying from the stores. And this is what happens in other countries. Like most people that I know of in Uganda, they are making their own feeds, and that's why they can be able to sell eggs cheap at once. Of course, the materials, the ingredients there are also cheaper than ours, but we can somehow still compete with other countries in terms of how the feeds, if we take the initiative of making the feeds ourselves. So take your time. I will be clicking on this. This is layers mash 20% concentrate, so you can take a screen grab. Of course, feel free to rewind the movies so that you can be able, the video, sorry, so that you can be able to know the exact formula that may work for you. I have estimated cost. These estimated costs, please don't look at them as the standard estimated cost. These are what I bought last time I bought the maize at. Okay, see, I bought 39 shillings. That was the last time I bought it at. Okay, so for you it will be different. There were sometimes I bought at 30. There are places that I bought at, yeah, the other prices. Now, where can you get these feeds? Of course, most towns have animal feeds, or you have agrovets and all that. So you may get these component ingredients or materials, let me call them that, for your feeds from these stores. Okay, there's some, like I said, the ingredients that you will need to probably bring them from far off. Like I bring some from Thika, which is the concentrates and all that, and there's some other materials that I buy differently, okay, in different places. So you just need to figure out. I cannot tell you where because I'm located in a very different place as you. So basically, just look for such places where they sell animal feeds. Nearest big towns, I know Eldoret will have one, Kitale will have one, Nakuru will definitely have one where you can still buy this, because most of the people who actually sell to these towns like Eldoret and Kitale, they buy them from Nakuru. uh, Western regions, you will have definitely like Bungoma and all those places, you will have animal feed stores and you can actually buy them. I don't know much about past Nakuru, that is Nairobi, and going to other towns. I don't know much about that because I've not done a lot of farming in those areas. So you can be able to get these formulas from ingredients from these animal feed stores. Okay, so it's a lot of work. uh, it's a lot of work actually making these formulas work for you, because you have to source these ingredients. Sourcing these ingredients is really, really hectic, but it's worth it. If I can be able to make more money as compared to somebody who's buying it from the store, then I'm good. So one of the other tricks that I need to tell you is, a friend of mine once told me, the profit for most people doing farming is not in farming itself, but the profit is from the animal feeds of making seedlings. All right. So if you sell seedlings, you'll be getting more profit compared to somebody actually who is planting those seedlings. I don't know how true that is, but that's food for thought for today. All right. So until next time, guys. Talk to you soon. Let's catch up later. Please feel free to subscribe, like the videos, and share it with your friends. So until next time.